starting?
There we are.
We are live. Woo!
Finally. Hi, I'm Tracy. This is Tabitha. We're the Sisters in the Shadows, and we're here for our introductory video call. We have been at this for already 3 hours this afternoon, and we have success, and we're thrilled, tickled. We're here to talk to you about what Sisters in the Shadows is, what we want to do, what it means for you. We're both a little bit frazzled. What?
Now it's doing the flippy thing where it's flipping back and forth. When you talk, it's there, and when I talk, it flips back. That's pretty
But
cool.
I get static screen, so that's kind of cool. Okay, what we're here about is it's been a long time in the coming. We have both done a lot of shadow work, and a lot of people think about shadow work as something really dark and almost forbidden, the shadow side of ourselves to be something that we need to be ashamed of or guilty about. And that's where we come in, because the shadow side of ourselves is just another aspect that we can integrate in even a playful way, and it has to be expressed, otherwise we are not expressing ourselves and we're not living our life as a full person. So, Tabitha, why don't you explain to people how we want to do what this is that we're trying to do here?
Geez, now I have to remember what I said before.
No, we're winging it again.
Yes, we are. The thing with shadow work is we're not going to drag you to hell. You're not battling demons. You're not fighting dragons. There's no war, no armor, nothing like that. We are going, the way we work is we're going to go in and have a conversation. It's kind of like you've heard of inner child work, where you go in and you remother your inner child and things like that. Well, the way we do it, we show you how to go in, have a conversation with those aspects of shadow. Because when people look at shadow, they think, oh, these are horrible things, these are big monsters. And when you start looking at them, they're really not. They're really just little pieces of yourself, be they from childhood, teenhood, some of them adulthood, where you've been told this is not appropriate, and you stuff it. And I'm not saying everything that has been stuffed should not be stuffed, because there are some people that just go, we won't go there. Normal shadow. It's been a long day, okay?
I know.
Normal shadow, sit, be quiet. Don't, just be silent. Be seen, not heard. There's where I'm going. Be seen, not heard. I got that a lot as a child. So
I think we both did. Probably most of us did.
Yeah, and that's the kind, be a lady. I got the don't walk like a whore.
You what? I've known you for this many years, and I did not know that.
When I first got my first pair of high heels, the whole big thrill for me was I was like 12 people. The whole big thrill was the click, because that is a grown-up noise. These women walk down the hall, you hear click, 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 click. That's all I wanted. Click, click, click. Yeah, and then I'm told, no, only whores click. Real ladies, honest to God, this is how the nuns taught my mother. You walk on your tiptoes and you don't hear the click. And that's how a real lady. Yeah, I still walk like a whore, just in case you're wondering.
Well, that's good, but how long did that stick with you?
It's still sticking, because every time I hear myself click, I keep thinking, dude, I've got to walk on my toes.
Whore.
Yeah, exactly. I can't walk on my toes, dude. No.
That's awful. See, this is the shadow work, so let's give people an example of that. Let's say someone else has the whore example. How do you dig into that shadow? Sorry?
The whore example can go really deep. This is just one of those.
But let's just say that that's just like a little surface scratch there. What did you do to get yourself through that process of saying, I don't care, I'm walking in heels, I'm not a whore?
Do you know that I still love the clicking? To me, it still rings those I'm a grown-up bells in my psyche. And basically, I had to stop because I had to fall down a couple times. Seriously, because I have always loved high heels. I know, 6 foot tall, wear 2-inch heels. Yeah, you're lucky I only wear 2-inch heels. But I used to be able to run in these things. I mean, run through gravel, run through grass. I could do it. I started trying to, what I do the nun walk. And it finally dawned on me that I don't want to be a nun. I don't want to walk like a penguin. I don't care. I want people to hear me coming. And one of the coolest things that I ever read about Frida Kahlo was, with all her jewelry and all the stuff that she wore, when this woman walked into her room, nobody missed her. She came in jingling and jangling and was music as she entered the room. And
you know what? I need to interject. You were talking about the jewelry thing. I have, my favorite bracelet that I have in the world is this cheap $5 bracelet that I got at a little local Asheville touristy type shop, and it has little bells all over it. That's my favorite. I've always loved bells. I like to jingle. Not that long ago, I went on a date with a guy, and we were walking down the street, and he made a remark about, boy, you really like to make noise, don't you? Like an insulting thing. And then he was commenting on my dangly earrings and my jangly bracelet, and I'm like, you know, back before we started doing our shadow work that we've both been doing now for 20-some years, and we still have so much to do, I would have taken that bracelet off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I stuck it in his face and jingled.
There you go. Yeah.
I know. So it's just, you know, these are little examples of what shadow can be. They're not all that simple, but, you know, you can have fun with them. It doesn't have to be the shameful thing that you live with forever.
Exactly. And you'd be surprised what comes up when you start working with shadow. And the way we are going to do it is, I probably said this already, but long days, so bear with me. But it's a gentle process. We're going in, we're having a conversation. We're not having an argument. We're not trying to rid ourselves of these demons. It's basically like trying to make friends with all of the aspects of yourself. You know, it's like, here's a part of myself that I haven't seen since I was 7 years old. Let's bring it out and give it some crayons. Let's go jump in mud puddles. Let's go play in the rain. Let's go roll in the snow. I mean, simple things like that. Yeah, right now it's more snow than puddles, but hey. But things like that. And the other thing that we really need to talk about is working with us. Because we are not your mamas. We will not be doing the work for you. And that was one of the big things, because I've worked with some teachers before that now I use them as my example for, okay, I'm in this situation. What would that teacher do? Okay, I'm going to do the direct opposite. That kind of teacher. We will be there. We will be by your side. We will help you, talk to you. We coach, we mentor, we do intuitive work. We will, here's the work. You know, here's the work that you're supposed to do. You do the work. And we'll be there to support you in any way you need, up until the point where you're telling us that you need us to do the work for you, or you're asking us for you to do the work for you. And I have had clients that they don't really think they're asking for me to do the work for them until I look at them and I go, that's not my job to do it. That's your job. You know, what can I do to help you do that yourself without me having to do it for you?
Absolutely. That's why, like we have talked about, and we want everyone to know, we'll be doing tutorials in the future, and we'll be doing these video calls on a regular basis now that we've figured it out. But the thing is we both work with so many different types of mediums. Mm-hmm. Tabitha and I have both been writing since we were just old enough to hold the big fat crayon.
Yes, at least.
You know, and the little paper that you learned to write on in kindergarten with the blue line with the dot in the middle. You know, we've both been writing and journaling for that many years. We're both avid readers. We're both artists. You know, you can express yourself in so many different ways. We'll explore tutorials to give you ideas of what inspires you, but maybe you're the type of person that you channel your inner demons through belly dance. Maybe belly dance is what you need. I don't know. Yeah. So anything that we hand you, that does not have to be your tool. Yeah, if you want to take it and play with it, great.
Yeah, that's the thing. When we give you stuff, it's not the Bible. You do not have to, oh my God, I can't do this. You know, if we give you this exercise and you're like, oh no, that is, no. Look at it. How can you make this work for you? Because we're not going to get upset if you say, look, I don't want to climb a 70-foot tall wall and tell everybody I did it. No, because, dude, I wouldn't. You're like, okay, I don't want to do that, but the whole point of the exercise is to conquer a fear. What do I need to do instead of that rock wall? And you go from there. And if you can't figure it out, that's when you come to us and say, I'm not doing that wall. You got something else? And then we'll work with you. That's what we do. Because ideally, we would love to create a program tailored for each and every single individual. Have you ever thought about doing that?
I have, and that's why I'm sitting here nodding, and I'm like, yeah, wouldn't that be great? But no, we can't.
You know, I have this novel. I actually won NaNoWriMo in 2010. I've had that thing sitting there, and my whole focus was to make it available for, if I can't do it for everyone, then I would make it as widely available as possible. And I got stuck. And I am just now reaching that point where I'm looking at it going, yes, everybody isn't going to come and say, this is what I want, this is what I need. I need to make it for the majority of the people that I deal with. I need to make it for me. Because what do I need if I come here? Because I'm not going to be worried about X, Y, and Z. That doesn't apply to me, so I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I'm going to stick to the core and say, here's the main focus. And when you come to me and say, hey, look, this isn't working for me, then you and I one-on-one can work with, okay, what do you need? And that's where the teacher part of what we do comes in.
Exactly, because when you try to go with that really broad base, generic one-size-fits-all product, what ends up happening is you water it down so much that it bores the shit out of everyone.
Exactly.
And it teaches no one anything.
Oh,
so,
by the way, because it's not in this video, it was like in 2 videos ago that didn't record.
Oh, yes, the salty part.
Salty language. We will use salty language. We will use salty hand gestures. There's no telling what will come out of our mouths, but just if you're going to be warned, we're warning you now, offensive language probably will happen. So,
and if it offends you, you may not want to be here with us.
Yes, okay. It's been a long day, so you'll have to bear with us. But I'm sorry to interrupt, but had to throw that in.
This is our prop. He's waving goodbye.
Yes. Because we know the work that we do is not for everyone. We understand that. We understand we are not for everyone, but we will never bore you, we promise.
We are definitely an acquired taste. We're one of those, there's no middle ground. You either love or you hate. And we hope that at least some of you love, because we love you. Yeah. Irregardless, you don't have to like us. We still love you. So, that's what we're here for, is just to try to teach you to like yourself more than anything else, because you find these roadblocks clear throughout your life, and you circle back to the same problems and issues over and over. And as we've talked about before, that's going to be a lifelong process for everyone. It's always that circular motion. But each time you come around, you shed a little bit more of your roadblocks and your shame and your guilt and your anger and whatever there is in there, so that you get to your most creative possible self. Because no matter what line of work you're in, a writer, an investment banker, it doesn't matter. If you're not able to be creative and fully expressive, you're not successful.
Mm-hmm. And creative in your way, not the way we're telling you, because we paint, we knit, we crochet, we do all sorts of really weird stuff, who knows. But, you may look at us and go, I'm not picking up a pencil. I'm not going to write. I'm not going to draw. No belly dancing. So we'll find everyone has that outlet. And we know everyone has that outlet. It's just, what's your outlet? Because some people really don't know. Because some people are so nose to the grindstone, they haven't lifted up and looked around and thought, hey, what's in it for me?
You're right about that, and it's true. And, I guess it's all about finding the inspiration and not the specific. Some of the stuff we'll put out, you may want to follow along step by step and say, oh, that looks really cool. I want to play. I want to try. But more than anything else, what we want you to take away is finding that thing that calls to you, even if it's, and this isn't meant to be derogatory. Let's say you're a computer geek, and what excites you more than anything in the whole wide world is writing code. Okay, So, if that's what's going to get you jolly and that's what's going to make you happy and you can get into your zone, so be it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
I'm just going, yeah, reading all that.
Huh?
I'm just sitting there going, oh, reading all that code. That's not my happy spot.
No, it's not mine either. But when we
I
talk
know.
about belly dancing, we're probably getting some people going, oh,
Yeah, not my.
painting, oh, belly dancing, writing, oh God, kill me now.
And see, I
So,
have friends that their thing is writing code. Their thing is working math problems.
I know.
But
But you know what? That's their happy place. So,
and I will not say a bad thing about their happy place because that's what we're.
but we won't be teaching that.
Exactly.
If you want us to write a tutorial on the joys of factoring equations,
Girls. I got someone who can do it. We can contract that one out.
yeah, right?
See, it's all about finding the proper mentors and other resources you need.
Oh, and see that, I'm so glad you said that because that's what we touched on in that last video that we haven't gotten to in this one is about that particular thing. We talked about the circling back around and how it's a normal part of the process, but there are going to be times that we're going to have to look at you and say, I'm not the person who can help you with this. You need a professional, you need a therapist, you need whatever the case may be, because okay, we're not in this just to take your money. We're in this to help you, and we're also in this to do the work along with you because we're all going to work until the day we die. And we don't want to get stuck on someone else's hamster wheel, and we don't want you to stay stuck on your own hamster wheel. So there are some of you that we might just have to say, I'm sorry, sweetie, but I'm not the girl for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some people, I have worked with clients where I have honestly looked at them and said, I hear what you're saying. I see what you need. I'm not the person who's going to give that to you. I am not the person who's going to be there and hold your hand 24 hours a day. And yes, you can throw, at one point, I did look at one particular client and say, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that I didn't really say this, but this is the theme. It's not my circus, not my monkey.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much drama for me to deal with, and you need someone who can help you do that. And we are all about, we will find you, we will give you, well, we won't find you, but we'll give you other resources, we'll give you other suggestions. Like if you live in Nome, Alaska, and you need a really good therapist there, I don't know anybody in Nome, but here, look for this kind of therapist. We can do that.
Absolutely. So, and it's not, about us not really caring to work with certain people, but there's just, you reach a point where there is no point. And it's a waste of your time, not only our time, but it's more a waste of your time. And this is what we're here. These are about journeys and reaching not even a destination because the destination is God knows where.
Yeah, reaching the next stop on your journey. Progressing and moving forward instead of I'm staying in the same place or I'm moving backwards or if you're only moving 2 inches in 10 years, well, it's not going to take us 10 years to go, sweetie, I think you need to go somewhere else because it's one of those things. We will try. We will do whatever we can, but once it becomes clear that we're going 2 different ways and we're not helping you, we'll find somewhere else for you.
And then maybe later, once you get that particular issue solved, you can come back if it's us that you really want to work with. It's just, it's about getting what you need now.
Good. I just said we don't hold grudges. We really don't.
What?
I just said we don't hold grudges.
No, not at all. I mean, you could come here and tell us that we suck, and that's okay.
Before.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I think that we were able to cover the stuff that we talked about earlier. Our audio video really was a lot more fun.
It was. And we were a lot. I
apologize for not bringing our usual
A-game
selves, but you know what? There is no usual. It is what it is. And This is, earlier, the difference between now and then is we had a little
Screaming baby.
sometimes happy, sometimes not baby in the background, and now we don't. So, I mean, it's like you take one thing and you trade for another, and that's another thing that Sisters is about, is working with your life as it is, not waiting for that perfect moment, because perfect moments are very rare, and we can't wait for them.
I mean, look, I really, really would have loved to have, the background a little cleaner, the table clean. Yeah, it's not going to happen here. You can forget it. If we waited, you're going to be waiting for a couple years. She's 13, so 5 at least on the table. So it's one of those things. We're all about being where you are in your life, and it's not about I've got to change everything. It's just about working in small increments. You pick it's you don't have to conquer all of the shadows at once. You can pick one and play. And that's more of what we keep saying, work, work, work. You have to do the work. But the way we're doing it is play. We're not drilling for diamonds or drilling teeth. We're really
I was going to say, if we've got diamonds, I'll drill.
no, yeah, exactly. Diamonds in the rough. And if you've got a mountain, yeah, because we're gonna go drill now. But really, it's we don't want anything that difficult. The difficult stuff is just peeling back the layers and digging in. And once you get there and you do that, then that's the start.
Yes. So, I mean, we're going to be back with these chats. We're going to be putting together. We're not even sure exactly what materials we're going to be putting together yet. This is a project that we've been talking about for a couple years, and we've both had some health concerns and babies being born and moves happening and family members being sick, and that's when today we decided to just grab the tail and go. Just do it. No more waiting around. Let's just make it happen. There is going to be no perfect moment, so we did our own little shadow work just getting here today.
Yeah, dude, there's going to be chaos. We are already okay with that. There's going to be chaos, and we can't look at you and say, hey, start where you are. Everything doesn't have to be perfect if we're waiting for everything to be perfect, because we'd never get around to it.
So I don't know about you, but I think that for today I've covered all the ground that I would like to cover, and I'm just tickled that we were able to get here and introduce ourselves finally, make our debut, and now we can really get into some fun stuff. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and we promise one thing, if nothing else, you'll never be bored watching.
Absolutely not. So we hope you'll join us again for future video calls, and we will keep you posted on upcoming events, workshops, whatever the case may be. Eventually, we have some long-term plans that we're not even going to think about unveiling to you yet, because it's a long way in the making, but we're going to be around for a while, so we hope you join us for the ride and come play with us.
Yes, please. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.